Hello everyone, thank you so much for being here. In today's video, I will be sharing with you guys everything me and my two toddlers ate this week, from breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We are starting off with Monday morning breakfast. Just for reference, I am 39 years old and I am currently 17 weeks pregnant. I have a little boy who is 4 years old and my daughter Mila, who is 3 years old. So today's breakfast, we are making pancakes. I am using the Angie Mama pancake mix, the one where you just add water. I don't care what y'all say. For me, it will always be called Angie Mama. This is the pancake mix that my dad always used to make us pancakes when I was growing up as a kid. So when I go to the grocery store, I automatically want to grab this box of pancake mix. However, for some reason, every time I try to make these pancakes, they end up not cooked correctly. Like the inside is just, it's kind of gooey, it's uncooked. I don't have a track record of making these pancakes correctly. So you guys will see later on in this video that I am actually going to switch to a different pancake mix, one that works better for me. Because I have tried everything from, making the consistency of the batter more watery, making it more thick, making sure it sits out for a little bit so it can get that fluffy texture. I tried putting my griddle on 375, on 350, on 300. Nothing I do helps with this pancake mix, so I just gave up. So also with breakfast, I am making bacon, and I am also going to make some eggs. Eggs have been a hit or miss with my kids. Lately, they haven't been feeling it. But I wanted to make a nice full breakfast this morning, so they're getting the bacon and the eggs. I also had some apples that I needed to use up before they went bad, so I went ahead and took the skin off of those, sliced them up. I already had a feeling that my kids weren't going to eat the apples, but you know what? I go by the rule. All I can do is put it in front of them. I can't make them eat it. And I have faith that one day I will put it in front of them and they will actually eat it. And I will never, ever go back to using a knife and a fork to cut up my pancakes and my waffles. Ever since I just started cutting with scissors, game changer. I can't believe I didn't do this a long time ago. And bacon is one of the few proteins that I can get my 4-year-old son to eat. So I try and give him bacon every single day. It's not the best form of protein, but at least it's something. Okay, so once again, not my favorite syrup. I saw it on the shelf and I was like, you know what? Let's try Miss Butterworth and see what it tastes like. I did not like it. It was so thick. It just reminds me of pure corn syrup. So later on in the video, you're going to see me switch to my favorite syrup. And yeah, the kids, I think they enjoyed this breakfast. Of course, Leo went for the bacon first. That's what he always does. So moving on. Monday's lunch. So for lunch, I decided to keep it very simple. We are just having a grilled cheese sandwich with a side of chips and fruit. Sometimes with my kids, simple is the way to go. And as for me, I had some leftover red beans and rice and cornbread from the previous night, so that's what I had. And for Monday's night dinner, I actually had a ton of food in the fridge that I needed to clear out, leftovers. So for Mila, she had some SpaghettiOs and corn. And for Leo, I made him a taco salad with tortilla chips, ground beef, cheese, and ketchup with a side of corn and some rice. And yeah, my little picky eater, he loved it. So on Tuesdays, the kids have preschool. Around 11:30, they eat their lunch. But my kids, they aren't really hungry at that time, so I just pack them a snack. Sometimes they eat it, sometimes they don't. And before I send them off to preschool for breakfast, they are going to have a bowl of oatmeal, and they are also going to share one waffle. I put butter on it and syrup, and yeah, that's a quick preschool breakfast. So for me, on this day, I had a tooth extraction. So this was the only thing I was able to eat for lunch. And also on Tuesdays, the kids after preschool, they go to their dad's house. So you're not going to see the kids' lunch included for Tuesdays. But moving on to dinner. For dinner, I am preparing some chicken teriyaki. This is my first time trying to make this meal in a slow cooker. So right here, you just see me seasoning the chicken with some garlic powder and some onion powder. Then I'm gonna go in with some soy sauce. I'm still trying to find my go-to soy sauce. You know, the good stuff, the stuff that tastes like Hawaiian teriyaki chicken. I've yet to find that, but I will. And I'm also gonna go in with some brown sugar. And I had this can of pineapples just chilling in my pantry. So I figure let's give it a shot and see what it adds to this chicken. So I dumped some of that in there. And now we're just going to let that cook. And once again, that soy sauce just did not do it for me. So I'm going to go in with my go-to Japanese sauce. This stuff is so good, you guys. If you have not tried it, they sell it everywhere. And yes, that is Tuesday's dinner. On to Wednesday's breakfast, we are going to make some crescent rolls. My little Leo, my son, my 4-year-old, he loves his carbs. So anytime I can add some bread to a meal, I know that at least his belly will be full with something. So I actually did not realize that I had purchased a sheet of crescent rolls, that they weren't like pre-cut. So I'm just going to roll these up and just cut them into little slices so they can make cute little crescent rolls. And we're going to get ready to pop those into the oven. And of course, for Mr. Leo, we got to make him some bacon. And because I've been having such bad luck with getting my kids to eat eggs lately, I decided to put a little bit of a twist on it and see if this works. I'm just going to add some American cheese to the eggs, and we're going to have cheesy scrambled eggs. And voila, there is Wednesday's super simple breakfast. And as you can see, Leo was very excited to see those crescent rolls. So this was the Wednesday before my kids' winter break. So at their preschool, they actually had their potluck on this day. And we decided to eat lunch out. I think we went to McDonald's. On this day, the kids also had a dentist appointment. And the weather was just so perfect. It was like 80 degrees outside. So after, getting everything done that we had to get done, I really just wanted to spend some time outside with the kids. So yeah, that's what we did. On to Wednesday's dinner. Because I already had chicken teriyaki and rice prepared from the previous night, on this night, we're just going to make a side of veggies. So we're going to do broccoli with carrots, and I am going to pop this in the oven, and I am going to drizzle a nice little dressing of butter and garlic to go on top of the vegetables, just to kind of liven them up and hopefully get my kids to eat it. So here I am. I'm going to pop half a stick of butter into the microwave, and I'm also going to add some minced garlic in there. I'm going to make sure to coat all of those veggies in this deliciousness. And we're just going to pop those in the oven until they're done. And yeah, I gave Leo a tiny little bit of chicken just to see if he would eat it. Of course, he did not. But Mila absolutely loved everything. On to Thursday. I have my go-to pancake mix. I love this pancake mix. It's pretty foolproof. I have messed it up a couple of times because me and pancakes, we just don't have a good relationship. But I love this pancake mix so much more than Angie Mama. Or what is it called now? Pearl Miller or something like that? Whatever. But But after serving up what I thought was a delicious breakfast, Mila decided that she wanted salad instead. Yeah. On to Thursday's lunch. So when I was at Walmart, I saw this pizza dough and I figured, let's give it a shot. So we're just going to make some quick and easy cheese pizzas. And I was not happy with this dough. It did not cook thoroughly. I don't know why. It was really thick and heavy. And I also tried this new cheese that I saw. It sounded good, creamy melt. What can go wrong with a creamy melty cheese? But this cheese, it was like every other cheese. There was nothing special about it. So yeah, I was very disappointed in this pizza. It looks way better than it actually tasted. Once again, the dough was just disgusting. And I end up popping into my little air fryer that I got from Target some French fries. And yes, that was our lunch. Oh, that's sweet and sour sauce from McDonald's. So moving on to dinner, I saw this also when I went shopping at Walmart, and I figured, let's give it a try. Leo likes rice. It has cheddar in it. It has broccoli in it. Why not? So we're just going to serve that up with a side of string beans, and I poured some chicken broth in there just to jazz it up a little bit. And those crescent rolls that I have left, yeah, let's just throw some of those on the plate too. As for me, I had some leftover chicken and potato stew that I had made in my slow cooker a couple of nights ago. So that is what I am going to have for dinner, along with some of those crescent rolls. And this meal was so delicious. And moving on to breakfast, it is Friday, and today we're going to keep it syrup-free. So we're going to have some blueberry muffins and a side of hash brown and some bananas. As for me, I'm not keeping it sugar-free. I'm having some waffles. And for lunch, I also kept it very simple. We had a ham and cheese sandwich with a side of chips. And for Mila, I gave her some of these Dino chicken nuggets with a side of barbecue sauce. And it is now Friday night. The kids are spending the night at their dad's house. So I'm just going to pop me in a TV dinner for dinner. And for breakfast the next day, I am still child-free, so I made myself some pancakes and sausage. And on to dinner, the kids are back at home, so we are going to make a quick 3-ingredient macaroni and cheese. So you start off by boiling heavy whipping cream, and you add a little bit of water to the mixture just to add some density. And once that starts boiling, you're going to add your macaroni to the pot, and you're going to let the macaroni cook as the water is boiling. The water in the heavy whipping cream is boiling. So I also added a little bit of salt to that. And once the liquid starts to dissipate, is that a word? Dissipate? That's when you're going to add the cheese in, and you're just going to continue to let that all cook and gather and get nice and mac and cheesy. And voila, a quick and easy 3-ingredient homemade mac and cheese. I serve Leo's with some garlic bread, peas, and grapes, and Mila has peas in a fruit cup. On to breakfast. For breakfast, the kids are having tater tots, waffles, bacon with apples, grapes, and strawberries. And of course, Leo went for the bacon first. And as for me, I am going to have some of that leftover chicken teriyaki for breakfast. And we are moving on to lunch. For lunch, I am pulling out the rice cooker because I'm making some Mexican flavored rice. I am going to cook the rice in some chicken broth as opposed to water. And I'm just going to season that up with some Mexican-ish seasoning. This is a pollo asado seasoning. And I'm also going to use some of this sazon, the tomato one, just to give it some flavor. And this rice came out so good. I'm also going to serve it with some refried beans, which I am making for the first time ever. I had a little bit of chicken broth left over in that container, so I just wanted to kind of liven up the beans, so I added that in there. And it actually worked. It came out really good. And I'm also going to make for the kids some cheese quesadillas. I like to use American cheese in my kids' quesadillas. I don't know. I think that's what they like the best. So that's what I do. And voila, this was a restaurant quality lunch. It was so delicious. And as for me, I had a leftover burger that's chilling in the fridge, so that's what I had for lunch. On to Sunday's dinner. Now, if you guys don't take anything else from this video, please take this meal. Oh my God, this meal was so freaking good. Okay, so I'm starting off by browning my chicken. I already seasoned the other side of the chicken, so now we're gonna season the unseasoned side of the chicken. I'm going in with some onion powder, some rotisserie chicken seasoning, some Lowry's seasoning salt, and some garlic powder. And we're gonna go ahead and brown the chicken on both sides. We don't wanna completely cook the chicken all the way through, because once we add all the rest of the stuff to the pot, that's where we are going to let the chicken continue to cook and get nice and juicy and tender. So while the chicken is browning, I'm gonna go ahead and use my handy dandy little tool here to chop up some onion. And we're gonna remove the chicken from the pot, making sure, it's not cooking for too long because we want it to be nice and tender. And we're going to continue chopping up the veggies. Now we are going to chop up some green bell peppers. And to that pot that we just cooked the chicken in, I'm going to add some butter just to try and, deglaze the bottom of the pan. And I'm also going to add the veggies to the same pot. And right here, we're just trying to get all that goodness from the bottom of the pot, from that chicken that we just cooked in the seasoning. Yeah, we want to scrape that all off the bottom of the pot. And just to assist and make the process a little bit easier, we're going to add some chicken broth. And once again, just scrape, get all that seasoning, all that fat off the bottom, because that's the good stuff. So once the pot is nice and deglazed, now we're going to add the chicken back into the pot. Make sure you get all those drippings from the plate. That's the goodness. And I'm also going to add a can of diced tomatoes. And last but not least, we are going to add some chicken broth. I'm making sure to pour the chicken broth on the side of the pot and not directly on top of the chicken so that we don't wash away all that good seasoning. Cover and just let that cook until voila, your chicken is nice and tender and your house smells absolutely amazing. This meal was the perfect way to end the week. Thank you so much for watching, you guys, and I'll see you next time.